Greetings and merry meet, guys. Symbian here. Many of you have come to know me as Symbian, and it's indeed a name I've sort of developed a little warmth to. I've grown sort of fond of it. At this stage of my life, only a few things really interest me. And out of those, only a few things I have a real intense passion about. One being a clean version of solitary witchcraft, a real scaled down version of Wicca. Basically what I've done, I've been so displeased with the current status of Wicca and paganism in general is that I've tried to search for a core of witchcraft, of that form of spirituality, that form of magic that is devoid of any attitudes, ego, anything that was colored after the original concept of Wicca sort of came to be. I had to go all the way back to prehistoric Neanderthals, if you can believe it, cave dwellers, and their relationship between something that they perceived as being more intelligent and greater than themselves. If you want to call that deity or god and goddess, that's totally up to you. If you want to call it their own cave dwellers, higher being or higher presence, by all means. But they discovered something that was greater than themselves. I'll give you an example. They may have witnessed a lightning bolt coming from the sky and striking a tree that one of their neighbors was standing beside. And the tree split and fell on the neighbor and killed the neighbor. Now, first impressions, that would put a fear of something in the mind of the cave dweller that witnessed it, the prehistoric Neanderthal that witnessed it. Now, you got to figure, way back in those days, survival was pretty much the only focus. And since this cave dweller just witnessed something that snuffed out one of his neighbors in the blink of an eye, it would probably be in the mindset of that cave dweller to do what they could to please whatever powers or energies or entities or deity forced the lightning bolt to come down in the first place. They didn't understand weather. They were too simple for that. For them, it was perceived as magic, and that equated to something more powerful, more intelligent than they were. They made a point of either requesting a higher power to look after them, to care for them, to keep them safe, or to provide food for them, or make food easier to acquire for them when they were hunting for meat, or when they were growing plants and vegetables for food. Of course, they wanted rain and sunny weather and that type of thing. And when things like that didn't magically appear convenient, they felt threatened. Now, not a dangerous type of threatened or a survival type of threatened, not at first. But if a famine happened or if a drought happened, Their survival was an issue that came back up as strong as ever. Now, that relationship between the Neanderthal and something greater than them uh, was a form of the seeds of what I would classify as witchcraft or magic, because the cave dweller would do anything that they thought of creatively to try and appease the powers that be and bring rain, or help food to grow, or drive a herd of buffalo or animals to the cave dweller so that they could kill and get meat to survive, or if it was cold out, to give the cave dweller an idea where warmth could be found. It was a matter of survival, but the cave dweller danced around the fire and shouted at the moon, or what we understand as the moon. For them, it was probably the big round light in the sky at nighttime. Anyway, the point being, I am so displeased with modern day witchcraft and Wicca, because it has been revised and put under interpretation for so many years, centuries, that it has lost its integrity. It's lost its core origin of basically truth. Too much fantasy has been woven into it. Too many laws and rules and definitions have been created via the interpretation by mortals who perhaps felt themselves chosen to be representatives of the gods. Now, be it ego or need, it doesn't matter to me. The fact that people took it upon themselves to interpret the will of something greater than themselves as a group, and then require that you buy into that in order to join the group. That's why I will never become a member of a coven. I have too much respect for a solitary relationship between a practitioner, a witch, and something greater than themselves. So I'm not a big follower of rules and regulations and laws and tenets. The Wiccan Read, I'll honor it because it had original core truths, but I won't be bound by it. The same with a lot of natural and common sense laws that apply to witchcraft and Wicca. I'll honor them, but I will not consider myself bound to them. I won't fear hell on earth if I bend or break some of the rules or completely ignore some of the rules. This video is my first for the channel, and I'm probably going to treat it as a channel trailer. This is my version of solitary core witchcraft, of what Wicca would be if you stripped away all the ego and group interpretation and just kept it at a solitary relationship between the practitioner, the witch, and deity, or something greater. This is the witchcraft that I'm interested in. It allows me a freedom to change my standards whenever I need to. It allows me to modify from moment to moment. It gives me that freedom, and also via that freedom, it gives me that power. Now, I'm 58 years old, a few years away from mandatory retirement or typical retirement. I've learned an awful lot. I began my studies and interests in witchcraft and Wicca when I was 11 years old, so I've been doing it for a long time. Now, the whole purpose of this channel is for me to offer to whoever finds themselves in need of information a source to ask, or sort of a kind mentor that doesn't really follow all the rules, because some of them are misplaced or not appropriate for magic or witchcraft, but because of design and maybe even a little bit of power over those rules and laws and tenets were brought into play. Anyway, I'm making myself available to young students, male and female, who want to ask questions, want maybe an empathic, intuitive, common sense answer that dips into the solitary spirituality that I practice. I find that, going back to the prehistoric Neanderthal for a second, they did things to maintain a balance between everything around them. If there was an imbalance, their survival was at risk. So my thing about balance is that I like to try and stay centered, right dead center or near center, between the extremes, between harmony and chaos. And if I find myself too chaotic, I will do sympathetic harmony magic, but just enough to bring myself back to center. The same if I'm experiencing a little bit too much harmony, rather than use it all up in this lifetime, so that I can enjoy a full life. I will use discipline and actually do a little bit of chaos magic, sympathetic chaos magic, to again bring myself back to center. Now, leaving harmony to return to something a little more chaotic, which is back at center, is not a natural act. Nobody wants to leave harmony. So it requires a discipline to pull yourself away from that. I've managed to develop that discipline. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And things like that I'm willing to teach. Helping young seekers and newbies and young student witches who want to be solitary, who don't want the Coven mindset or structure, but still want to practice magic and honor that part of their own spirituality, or who want to develop their own version of their spirituality, as I have done, which I call symbiosity, a symbiotic relationship between something greater and myself, a balance between harmony and chaos. Anyway, I don't want this video to be too long, because it's going to be a channel trailer. So, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to try to upload a new topic, roughly about once a week. I'm going to go through all of the altar tools, how to set up and cast a circle, how to call the elements, how to honor deity if you choose to target and label something greater for you as deity, as god or goddess, be it whatever pantheon that you find yourselves lent towards. For me, it is probably closer to Celtic. My, how would the Wiccans put it? My matron is the Morrigan, who is a dark goddess. My patron is the Dagda, another Celtic god, who just happens to be the Morrigan's consort. One of the few males in the Morrigan's history that has never tried to betray her. Anyway, just that statement alone gives you an idea on how much I respect and the relationship strength I have between myself and the Morrigan. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and please feel free to leave comments. As you can hear from what my description is, my witchcraft, my spirituality is somewhat of a Heinz 57. I have Asian flavors. I have some Viking flavors in it. It's a mixture of a lot. So I've been around for a while. You know, I was born in 1958, and I'm 58 years old now. So hey, we're getting there. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good one. And we'll catch you in roughly about a week's time. Bye for now. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.